Hello and welcome to Randomly Generated Movies, where we take randomly generated movie posters and we try to come up with an actual viable movie poster name information. Hopefully, one of these movies will be picked up by one of the major movie studios and produced, or not. All right, so the first image we have here today, boys,
Um,
it looks like he's kind of like hitchhiking, right? He kind of has one of those signs like to somewhere or bust, like you're trying to get somewhere. There's the people looking for him. So maybe he's like a kid that ran away from home trying to get to like Hollywood or something.
he has a couple presents everywhere.
He has some presents with him. We got to figure out how that falls into the mix.
I'm gone. I'm just kidding.
And those look like his parents who are searching for him throughout this whole movie. Um,
We're going and go.
so let's see. So it's going to Hollywood because that kind of looks like one of those cut signs, right? Like cut. So he's going to Hollywood to become a movie star. But what are the presents from?
Santa. He just robbed Santa.
Or no, okay. So that's actually like one of the prison photo things.
The mugshots.
Mugshot. That's what that could be. So, and he's so happy, right? And it's like Santa gone missing or something like that. And those aren't his parents looking for him.
Those are the police.
Those are Santa's elves looking for him. Those are Santa's bodyguard elves. He was one of Santa's elves at one point.
Yes.
Right? And it's Santa gone missing. And so that can have like a caption inside it of like, 513 or whatever number he is in the lineup.
My goodness. Santa gone missing. 2025.
And yeah, he stole the presents and everything. Or maybe we don't have to go as dark as Santa gone missing. Maybe it's just like
Christmas.
a crazy Christmas Eve. A lot happened. He stole some presents,
Santa.
And now he's getting arrested.
Santa.
He was posing as Santa, and now he has a sign. So let's say if we go away from the Santa theme, but still we're gonna go with the prison theme. Okay.
I love the prison idea of this. Like,
and he's happy to be there. This is like the happiest mugshot I've ever seen. Okay. So,
honey, I've been framed. I'm just kidding.
I mean, he still could have like stolen those. Those could be boxes of shoe boxes.
Shoebox.
Right? Or
I went to the shoe store.
They kind of look like colored pencils too.
Colored pencil
if
boxes?
You kind of look at them.
Okay. So maybe it's like shoplifting the movie. And
Hobo
again,
Joe.
Those are the police that are searching for him. Right? So you have the police, they're after him, and he just went and robbed a store.
Okay, that actually...
But we gotta give this thing a name, though.
The taco
What's the name?
shop.
Name is JoJo.
The taco shop. Okay, how does taco shop fit into this? I don't think those boxes came from a taco shop.
His name is JoJo.
JoJo?
JoJo the Whack Bear.
Busted. That could be the name of the show. Busted. And he like has this big smile on him like
as he's running away.
Okay, so the premise is in the beginning of the episode, he got you see him stealing all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes one step too far and he triggers the alarm. And so these police are on his tail the entire time. And through hilarity in the movie and everything, it's just this one big chase. And finally, at the end, they catch him. And that's the whole premise of the movie.
And he's happy to be caught.
And he's happy to be caught.
I know what I did was wrong, but I should have done it anyway.
At least I'll have this stuff in jail.
I don't think they'll let him keep the stuff in jail, right?
But he thinks so.
Or maybe he gets away with it in the end. Maybe that's just like a teaser, right? With the thing to show that he's being chased. But in the end, he like sails a trip on a boat. Like he evades the police and gets on a boat and goes like across the ocean to this land of beauty where he lives out with all of his shoeboxes. I don't know.
And then sells them to get money.
And then sells them. Busted.
The movie.
But okay, we do have to have him like get caught. Maybe he gets caught but gets away because being busted, we got to show that he's actually busted, right?
Like how in movies it's like, oh man, it didn't end up being well. Oh, great. Well,
he frames somebody. So when they go through the lineup, he's like smiling, but yeah, he gets away with it, and they choose 514 instead of 513 or something like that.
Oh my goodness. That is...
Yeah, I think we're on a good track on this one. Remember, we have 3 helplines throughout this creation process. We're going to go through 4 videos. We can, if we're ever stuck on a title, we can use a word generator that will generate 2 words that we then have to use at least one of them in the title. We can remove part of any one of these images. So if we wanted to remove the shoeboxes, but I think they kind of go with the story here, and we should probably save that. Or we can skip one, and it will generate another one for us.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling like we don't have to use any helplines on this.
No, I think we got this good.
Busted. We put a number on that little police tag there. And we need a catchphrase, because every good movie has a catchphrase.
Busted. I got.
I got. I can run, and I can hide. The play on the, you can run, but you can't hide. I can run, and I can hide. Or I can run until I can't.
Or a big smile is convincing.
I like that one. A big smile is convincing that I'm not the one.
Something with the smile, that's true. Or, okay, busted. Crime never looked so happy. I think we're going places here, right? So then, boom, magically appear the movie poster for Busted. All right, next movie.
Oh, goodness.
The balloon.
I mean, there are some balloons in the sky. There's a building with, I don't know what on it. The guy seems like he's looking somewhat up, right? So, like,
it's
maybe
Mr. Fredrickson's story before he was...
The story before Up. So the years, like, after his wife passed away until he became the old man he is.
The years before.
While he was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
While he was working and saving for the trip. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe we could step away from a story. We don't really want to write somebody else's sequel here, or prequel, whatever it would be.
It would be a sequel. Yeah.
Okay, so he's looking up at those. I'm assuming there's balloons in front of him if there's balloons behind him.
It looks like there's horses on them.
Horses on the balloons?
Oh,
well, that looks like a horse falling out of a balloon.
There's a lot of people in a car.
Okay, yeah, there's a car behind him. There's people.
It looks like a police
The inventor.
Car. Ooh. So, hear me out. I say we use a remove. We remove the falling horses. For one, okay? And, yeah, we have him looking up. Maybe this thing is he's looking up at these hot air balloons. And he's like, well, what about we create a blimp? And that's his idea.
The blimp.
He's the inventor of the blimp. And he got the idea from looking at these hot air balloons. And he's
Oh
like,
my
what if we could use this on a big scale to transport a lot of people?
The Blimp. The
And
movie.
to save the horses that are falling.
We're going to remove the horses.
Yeah, we're removing the horses.
Okay.
No horses were hurt in the filming of this video. What are your thoughts, Caleb? What are your ideas with this?
Blimp.
Wait, he's the inventor of the blimp,
Yeah.
and he's a visionary, right?
Mhm.
So we might not want to call the movie just Blimp, but maybe like Up and Away, or
Oops.
Oops.
Upsy daisies.
Or the flight of the blimp.
The Flight of the Blimp, like Flight of the Bumblebees. Blimp Man. Okay, never mind that.
The Blimp. The Blimp.
Let's see. I'm looking into his eyes.
He's
looks
crying.
scared.
His blue
Oh,
eyes.
he's
He seems
crying.
like he's looking up with like wonder, but it's like it's not really a sadness.
My
It's
little
not
wonder.
really a happy, but he's like so impressed because he's looking
my
up at
goodness.
his blimp.
My little wonder gone big.
Gone big. Big blimp.
Air.
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 That's a
yeah.
good one, right? And the whole thing is his fascination with these floating objects. And it goes through his story of how he creates this.
And it
Blimp.
shows how he ages, how he's little, and he saw when the hot air balloons first came for the hot air balloon parade because it just started.
And maybe his
Yeah.
like grandparents or his dad took him on a ride in a hot air balloon. And then his
Uh-huh.
dad died from sickness like a year or two later. But he's had a fascination from the air balloon because it reminds him of his
Uh-huh.
dad. Okay?
Yeah, all movies
I
have
like
to have
your
something
idea,
like that.
Caleb.
Yeah.
I mean, I added to it, but you were on the
That was
path
a pretty
there.
good idea.
Okay, so
Air.
it shows him aging and his fascination with the air balloons. Like when he went up there with his dad, and his dad passed away, and he's looking for something there.
So we got the name Air
Air.
going up.
Okay, we got the catchphrase too. Air going up.
As you move your
Alright,
hands down.
A few touches here, a few touches there, and we have the final movie poster.
Air.
Wait,
Okay, moving on to the next one.
the horse.
Ooh, sand dunes?
Hey, look, there's blimps.
They
The
look
aftermath.
like- we've already used this remove, so we can't remove those things. They look like,
The aftermath.
I was gonna say a helicopter, but where the helicopter blades would be, it looks like they're just clouds. So maybe this is like a sci-fi-ish type video or whatever.
They look like little creatures. with
Jorge the
little
Explorer.
legs.
They have a little bit of creature look to them.
Dora's lost long cousin.
Adventure.
Lost long? Long lost cousin? Jorge the Explorer?
He could be Jorge the Explorer.
He has a backpack. It looks like a school backpack. On the run. I'm just
No, it looks like he's getting ready for like a
kidding.
adventure exploration.
On the
trip.
run.
Okay, we already have
Oh yeah,
busted on
sure we
that.
have busted.
We can't have all these movies about running from the.
The cops.
It's a search. So those things in the air, they could be like this futuristic sci-fi type vehicles that are searching the desert for
Because
this person that was lost out there, a little kid.
a little kid who was lost inside of the desert and they're
Yes.
trying to find it.
And that's the kid's dad. And they're not finding anything. So dad goes out there with just a pack on his back to go find his kid.
Oh my gosh. We got into like some very. I could see this movie, but like the reason why that's all dunes and stuff.
Search.
See, like
I'm
how
coming to find you.
the search. Yes, but do you guys see like the little plants?
Yes.
So like this desert wasn't always a desert.
Or it's his contemplation of leaving. This is when he's entering the desert. So this is his step into there, leaving behind the grass symbolizes the lush land that he came from, where there's water and everything else, and he's going out there. There's no water for days.
It's true.
Wait.
And all he has is that pack on his back.
How did the kid survive?
Well,
We'll have
he's
some sand,
going off of the dad's going off of this faith and hope that his kid is still alive out there, right? And of course, with the movie, you got to make it so they are. But
and like people on the way are making him doubt. Like they're trying to make him doubt, but he's like, "No, I have faith that."
The searchers are like calling off the search and everything, and they're like, "There's no way he could have survived here that long," and that's why he's still out there with just his backpack trying to find.
Hear me
wow,
out.
I'm getting teary-eyed.
Lost City. The kid ended up in the desert. He was walking for a while, and these group of people came and took him in. He's like, "Okay, we're gonna help you in this and that," but it's like a lost city, lost from the desert. So like everything was not found due to the storms and stuff. The searchers couldn't get too close. The sandstorms and stuff were keeping everybody away from getting to the lost city, and that's where his son is.
And it could still be search, and that could be like the plot to his twist ending. Like they couldn't find him because it was protected, and it's like the lost city of El Dorado, or whatever, right?
I like that.
Full of gold and this lush land and all that stuff.
It's beautiful.
But it's not like that's not the focus of it. But that's the ending is he finds his kid there. And he's on his last breath. He's all out of water, all out of food. He's parched. Not the kid, but the dad. He's searching for him.
And then,
he's barely getting by. Like he's struggling walking.
And
this sandstorm kicks up. And he thinks he's gone for. He falls down. And he wakes up. And the people of this city had brought him there. And that's like how it ends is he wakes up and he sees his son or daughter, the kid, whoever it is, and they're like, "Dad!" And they give him a big hug and it ends right there.
Oh my
Just
God.
comes to black.
No, but like the people inside the city are really nice people. If they're taking people that were in the sandstorm, they're like, "Okay, you made it this far," as long as they're not like people that are like explorers, treasure hunters.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's looking for his child, not the treasure. So
right, it could even be like a city of representing like the spirits of the desert or whatever, right? That protect those who are of pure heart.
I love that.
And the people who believe those are the only people who can see the place inside the desert.
Mm-hmm.
And since he was believing that he can find his kid, he got through the barrier.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it's like this trial of faith. The search, the trial of faith. That could be the catchphrase on it. And yeah, scrap the whole El Dorado idea. It's like this people that represent like the spirits of the land or the spirits of the desert out there looking after those who are of pure heart.
Yeah. And
like
that's why like he found abandoned buildings and stuff like that, covered in sand, washed away basically from the sand. That's why they're the spirits of like the desert.
Yeah,
people that were gone.
He walks past like these caravans that are all destroyed and these things, and so he's losing hope. The walkie-talkie that he has is running out of batteries. People have already called off search from above, and he's still just trying to move forward. He's not giving up because of the faith.
Mm-hmm.
And so it could be like search, the trial of faith, right?
Mm-hmm.
My goodness.
So, with the blimps in the sky, the reason why they couldn't get there was because they were just searching. They didn't believe they could find him. I mean, or the kid. And then they were just like, okay, he just wants to look for his kid. Let's just find him and get this over with. So they didn't have faith that they could find him, so they couldn't go through.
Yeah, that's why they were stuck in this endless sandstorm.
And some of the blimps got like broken down inside of there.
When the
Because-
sandstorm came,
Because sometimes like you go to the kid, it shows scenes with the kid, and it showed something falling from the sky, and the kid's like, "Wait, what is that?" And they're like, "It's the dangers of the real world."
okay, so they're protecting him from the real world. Okay.
And there's gonna be like a sequel to this. We'll have to figure that out another time.
That the
Right.
mom was like, "Wait, my
She goes out there
husband-
searching.
Yeah, my husband and my kid has been gone for quite a while now."
I'm crying. This is
And then the
such a good
sister
show.
it's just an entire sequel where it's all the family. The grandma goes out there.
Right, it keeps going and going.
Generations.
All right, so I think 2025, Search, The Trial of Faith.
I could see this as a real movie, and I hope it becomes a real movie.
And I'll switch to the actual movie poster. All right. Next show.
The Hitchhikers.
Oh, it does look like they're hitchhiking.
But
Hitchhikers.
there's a big airplane.
And some creepy thing in the background. With like wings and a blobby face.
Oh, that
That's
thing's
what
kind of
we
creepy.
should have. That's what we should have done for
I
the
kind of want to
cross
skip
out.
this one and see
Right,
what
we
we
could
get
have
for the
crossed
next
over.
one.
We could skip this one, see what we got for the
Yeah.
next one, or we go with this one.
Where we go with
Yeah.
Hitchhiker's Camp? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we should skip because
I like Hitchhikers, but I mean, I don't understand what.
Okay,
what's
once
going
we
on.
skip, we can't go back.
Okay.
We voting on a skip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Going
Hobo
home.
Joe. Oh.
Yes, Hobo Joe. Going home.
Going home.
the siren.
Okay. What about the siren?
Because they were like, something's bad gonna happen in this many years, and then they're like, wait, it came early, it's gonna come earlier than expected, and then they're like, we don't know when, but it's gonna come earlier. Then the next day a siren came because the thing was coming.
Evacuation. The movie.
And it shows a man running with some luggage.
Right? He's trying to get out there as quickly as possible.
Mhm.
What if the luggage contains like his, like family memories? Like that's the only thing he was able to bring with him because he has like all his other stuff in his backpack, like his family stuff in his backpack and his luggage. So he's transporting all this stuff before the evacuation happens.
Because everything
Okay.
looks run down over
Yeah,
there.
as if something's gonna happen.
Mhm.
Maybe the evacuation is starting, right? And it's this guy's story of getting out of there. So a natural disaster is happening, kind of like you were
The
referring
red
to.
suitcase.
So, it could focus on that suitcase.
Yeah, it's called the red suitcase.
And he evacuates. He makes sure that that's what he's going to bring because that has like something very important. And then he loses it. And so he's trying to find it and get it out of there and everything. And there's something around. Maybe he doesn't even lose it, but like he has to protect it over different things. Like some looters want to come and they try to steal his suitcase, or some animals and stuff, or
Yeah.
whatever.
They're trailing through somewhere trying to get out because the evacuation happened. Like an evacuation happened. They're trying to get out, and it's a group of people. But these like thieves and stuff are over here waiting, knowing that this was going to happen at some point. So they're here
Wait,
waiting
I
to
know
rob
what
them
I know
of their
what
stuff.
it is.
Maybe
You know,
It's like a
Jessica?
volcano, and there's a whole bunch of earthquakes, and when the earthquakes happen, like when the thieves try to take it, aftershock earthquake happens, and then that goes flying into the air, and they're all trying to catch it, but they're falling from the like earthquake, and the floor starts cracking.
so. It's like a big earthquake that causes.
Mhm.
Also, he's out there in the wild, and an earthquake happens, then a stampede
A
of
missing city.
animals just start coming and then is about to hit him. and then he loses his suitcase.
Hear me out.
The missing city gone lost.
Hear me out. What if he's not evacuating and running away? What if he's going into the city? What if it's like the medic? And he's this guy that goes into cities that have been struck by a natural disaster. So this area just suffered a natural disaster. And this guy goes town to town to go help all the people that are injured in these natural disasters.
Basically like a ghost.
That's basically what we should do for the end of the, like, when there's a earthquake and, like, when he suffers that, he doesn't want other people to get hurt. So whenever something happens, he goes and he's not afraid of it anymore.
He's a lingering spirit.
Yeah.
A lingering spirit helping those who have been, like, maybe he's bringing them to the afterworld.
Well, I think he should still be alive. But I think maybe the movie starts with him evacuating and going through all this trial. And he's evacuating with a group of people, like you guys had said. So let's take all these ideas together, right? And in that red suitcase, he has this guy.
And
this guy was a doctor.
On the way.
This guy was a doctor. And he's using this to take care of people as he goes. And yes, they lose some people and everything, but he helps them get through this evacuation. And then he dedicates his life to going into areas where there's natural disasters. And so it follows him then after this. So it has the beginning, kind of defines why he's doing that, you know, the evacuation, them relying on him to help them survive, even though they do lose people. It'll be sad. And then he makes it his point. And the movie, so it kind of shows that and kind of goes through a montage. And then it's the biggest disaster ever, where everybody's running away, he's running in. Where everyone runs away, he runs in. The medic.
Oh my goodness.
I'm writing that one down.
And he survives, so he survives, and but the whole world is now, like, gone. But then later there's civilization and they don't know where he went. So now he's a tale that their grandparents tell their kids
So it's one of those flashback things. It starts
Sweet
with this lady telling a story to her grandkids about him.
And he carried her out. He carried her out of that big natural disaster.
Yeah, she's
his
when he survived.
And
oh my gosh.
He drops her off, like, to help go. And he goes back in, but, like, never to be seen again, basically.
Because he goes to help somebody else.
She's a little kid that he saved because she was about to get crushed by a building.
Okay.
And then he takes her out, and she said, "Thank you, I'll always remember you." And then she says the story, and then when she turns older into a grandma, she says the story to her grandchildren.
Okay. I like that. This kind of just wrote itself.
And then eventually she finds this hidden journal, and this is how it ends. She finds this journal in, like, one of the drawers. And it's like a journal from her grandfather.
And that was her grandfather?
Yeah, because she never heard from her grandfather ever. It was her grandfather that came and saved her.
But
she
didn't
knew
know
about her grandfather. They just told about the grandfather.
Or maybe they didn't tell about her, because maybe during the natural disaster, they got separated, and they thought he had abandoned them.
Yeah.
And then he goes back and saves her, so she's telling the story about this guy that she doesn't know is her grandfather.
And eventually she finds the journals. And then the door opens. The door opens slowly.
Wait, if she's a grandmother and he's the grandfather,
no, it's his ghost.
I doubt. We're away from the ghost idea.
Yeah, sure.
We're keeping this a real. This was
is a
based off real life events.
No, it's a mother. Actually, it's a mother because the mother is so he's trying to keep himself alive instead of where he's hiding. But the mother, they already built civilization after those many years.
Okay, I know how this could work.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap up this episode. Okay. This guy. The movie is called The Medic. When everyone runs away, he runs in. Okay. He's actually his wife is pregnant, right? And he's a doctor. The tragedy happens and they get separated. So he gets with this other group and he's helping them. His wife never knows what happened to him and he never knew what happened to her. Then it shows him going through those things. He goes in, he saves that kid, not knowing that that's the kid that his wife had. That's his daughter. So he saves her and she doesn't know that he's his dad or he's her dad. And then when she's telling this story to her kids to remember him, then she receives a knock on the door. And it's her dad. But that's after she finds this journal.
It slowly opens and you see the
of
red
her
suitcase,
dad.
and then it ends.
And yes. And that's how it ends. So
Because
she
he
sees the journal and
also
she's like,
found out-
starts to put these pieces together after telling the story. And yeah, you have a knock on the door.
She opens the
but
door and
also
the red
the
suitcase
man,
shown.
he found his wife, and then the man found his wife, and then he found, and she told him about the kid, and then
So that's where he put the journal.
that's
Was where she lived.
Well, he
Well, I want it to
buried
be
the
something
journal.
that she found, right? It was within these belongings. No, okay. So actually his wife passed away. And it's when she's going through her mother's things that she finds the journal from her father. And that's reading the journal. She realizes who he was. And then she's
there's
like,
a knock on the door, and you don't see his face. You just
See
see
the red suitcase. Oh my goodness.
now flash to the movie trailer for The Medic. Thank you for joining us. Hope you'll join in next time.
Thank you.